Hey friends, I'm back with another video, and as you could see, I'm here in Greater Faydark. Why? I don't know, nostalgia or whatever. And as you could see, I made a new rogue. They're level 2. They're not super heavy twinked, although some of you may beg to differ. I made them some small gothic ringmail. They are also have a spined seahorse hide breastplate, so that's actually one of the better things they have, aside from their jewelry. Jewelry is pretty phenomenal for a level 1 or 2 anyway. As you see, I'm using my underfoot diamonds and opals and emeralds to give them some cool stats. Each of these Electrum trio things has their own jewelry. This is actually Tradora's old jewelry. So I upgraded hers to platinum, and I gave the Electrum to this new rogue. So that's one of the lovely things about being here on the Throne of Eye server. Normally, once you insert Augs into your Electrum trio or any of the trio jewelry, it becomes no trade. But not here on Throne of Eye, man. You could trade that shit. You could give it away. You could sell it. You could have all your Augs in there, and then it's just like any other jewelry. So that's why I love Throne of Eye as much as I do. So yeah, I got some Gothic ringmail all over the place. I do have the one Glooming Deep thing because I didn't stay in Glooming Deep long, but the one person you hail, which you want to hail because you want to get at least your charm, right? Because it gives you 5 strength, stamina, and then some hit points and stuff. So yeah, I wanted the charm. So I got the arms too, and the rest is just this I just had lying around in the bank. It's a cloak, crude cloak. Then some more this is calcified ringmail, more calcified ringmail. This is Gothic ringmail. The dagger, it's just a Valium dagger, 8 damage, 20 delay. I craft these. I crafted most of the armor. My enchanter crafted the jewelry. Like I said, the battered plate shield that just drops from those giants. I got some long flight javelins in my range slot. So nothing super amazing, but God, super amazing compared to like old school. So I'll be able to kill anything that comes along. I've got a mercenary. It's a dwarven warrior, but it's not one of the super amazing mercenaries. Their hit point regen is 1. 1! So it's basically the same as mine. Oh, my hit point regen is 24. That's because I have a buff, like a regen buff. I don't think... Yeah, I just have chloroplast on. So why did I decide to do this instead of going the tutorial route? I don't know, man. I don't know why I do shit. I just do it. I just thought it would be fun, kind of entertaining. Part of me would be tempted to like not use any armor and just try to do the quested armor, but it's just not that fun, man. It's, you know, some of the drops are so damn rare, and then I'd have to keep track of what I looted and what I haven't looted. And as long as it takes to like actually craft some of the stuff, it's still easier. Still easier to craft some of the stuff to twink myself a little bit, so I just don't die instantly. Because yeah, do I want to die? Do I like dying? No. Nobody likes dying, man. Plus, you know, I could take yellows with confidence now. With my nice dagger. So what kind of bags do I have for storage? Well, of course, I got a couple of extra planar trade satchels, 32 slots. That's where all your trade skill stuff goes. I also got a stack of bandages in there, just in case, you know, if I start getting beat up real good. Got my bandages. I've got 6 handmade backpacks. Those only have 10% weight reduction, but they got 10 slots, so that's why I like using those. There's one thing I really love. Another positive to playing on Throne of Eye. I got a Fabled Journeyman's Boots, even though it's not Fabled season. Why? Because the Fabled Boots aren't no trade here. They're tradable. So I just took them off one of my other characters that doesn't need them anymore. I've got a few potions, skin spikes, celestial healing, alacrity, and replenishment. I also got my rune of healing and my vicious rabbit. I'll show you what those do if I get into a snag where I need them. If you're wondering, where do you get the vicious bunny and the rune of healing? Well, you get those from the what is it called? The loyalty merchant. Because you get loyalty tokens, right? As you can see, I spent a bunch because I had like 400 or more. And yeah, I spent some to get the rabbit and the rune. Those are my 2 favorite things, aside from like the 16 slot weight reduction bags. But that's like 1,200 loyalty tokens. I didn't have enough for that. I hit level 3, so that's nice. You know, it's funny, like being in Greater Faydark does bring back some memories. One of my favorite things to kill was always the skeletons. Why? Because, you know, bone chips. You could sell bone chips to necromancers back in the day to make a little cash. I always wondered, like, how the economy in Everquest really worked. Because, you know, if a necromancer wanted to, they could go and farm their own bone chips. But that would probably take time out of their schedule, and, you know, why do it if platinum comes easy to you and you could just go somewhere and buy them? Although the thing about the old way of buying stuff, I didn't like that at all. Hanging out either in Greater Faydark or the Commons tunnels or whatever, and shouting, you know, or using the auction command, looking to buy bone chips, looking to buy this or that item. It wasn't fun. And if you had a limited time to play, I could see that it could be frustrating for a player. You know, maybe they wanted to level up. They would have rather have done something different than just sit in the tunnel all day shouting for some bone chips, because, you know, the possibility of you, you know, hearing what you want to buy at that moment when you just happen to be there, it didn't always, you know, happen. Oh, what's this? Crude Defiant. Now, if I find Defiant, oh, but that's the plate. Can't use that. But I'll grab it and just sell it to a merchant. Now, if I find some chain, some Crude Defiant chain, you bet your ass I'll be throwing that on. I just made some stuff so I wouldn't look naked. I could just right away get into the action. I always liked killing wolves too. I don't know why. I think I just wanted the pelts. And old habits die hard. I still like killing the wolves. Even though I really don't need the pelts anymore. Because, you know, the pelts you would use, even the ruined ones you would use to practice tailoring to get it up to like, what was it, like 15 or 20 that the ruined pelts would get you up to. And then you would go up and start using low qualities. You can make bags and or leather padding with that. Leather padding would always sell pretty good back in the day. And then the medium quality pelts, you could do studded armor. And then remember the high quality pelts, you would do reinforced. And reinforced was almost as good as banded, really. And it was a lot lighter than banded. Banded was some heavy ass shit. A lot of times I would rather use reinforced for a while, especially for something like a high elf paladin or something, because the banded was just so heavy. You know, and we couldn't come across jewelry with strength on it, or, you know, every other item didn't have pluses to strength on it. That's one thing I really like about modern Everquest, with all the expansions and everything intact, is the fact that we can have nice jewelry like this, where it has strength and stamina, two stats that elves, both wood elves and high elves, desperately needed. Cracked staves, remember those? I just looted another one. They were like worth a plat. It was like a newbie's, you know, best loot that they could find. It was a freaking cracked staff. And I still, when I have a new character, I still have that stupid habit. It's like, I don't need plat. I don't. I could just take it off one of my other guys that has plenty of plat, but I still loot stupid things like rusties and cloth pants and stuff, because even if I don't need it, it sells for a little bit on a merchant. I still like looting rusties, because then you could buy sharpening stones and turn them into tarnished. And then once you've got the tarnished, you could use a water flask and turn the tarnished into ore. Then you could take your ore and turn it into metal studs, or you could craft a file. You could craft steel boning. You can even craft it into sheet metal and then make some banded. And I wish there was more kind of like that, where things could keep building up. You know, you could take your rusties and melt them down, turn them into ore, then maybe, I don't know, combine them with something else like carbon powder or something that could drop off something, I don't know, or just, you know, ash, and then you turn it into like a better grade of steel, and then you can make like fine steel or medium quality steel, and then you could make, you know, other things like fine plate. Didn't fine plate use medium quality ore? I think it did. I always felt like the crafting in Everquest could have been improved like a lot. They made it kind of hard to make magic items. Like, it would have been nice if you could have just had like some bricks of ore from melted rusties or whatever, then maybe had an enchanter enchant it, just regular ore, without needing some expensive gem for a regent, and then make, you know, enchanted armor with some stats on it. You know, maybe you add some gems to it or whatever. But they always just did it weird. Huh, level 10 Wisp, I'm level 4. Okay, Wisp, you live to see another day. I'm gonna wait until I'm at least like 5 or 6 to fight them. I still think it's weird that Darkpaw or Daybreak removed the magic item tag from everything. Like, why did they do that? Basically, you could use a rusty weapon to fight a will-o-wisp now. Remember when it was like a big stepping stone just to get your first magic weapon so you could fight wisps and get some greater light stones, because greater light stones were good light sources, and you could sell them. They were worth something. They could also be used in tailoring to make the Wu's fighting fist wraps or whatever the hell it was, and they were a greater light source because they had the wisp stone in there. Sorry, it sounds like my neighbors are being dicks again, jumping up and down. So I'm at level 5 now. I haven't really needed any of my potions. I don't know why I made level 1 potions. I never use them at such a low level. I usually need them a little later on. Something they do with mercenaries, especially the lower end ones, if you got a couple of buffs on them, like I have Temperance and Harnessing of Spirit on this mercenary, when they level up, it looks like they've been brutally wounded because their hit points like drop, and I don't know why that happens, and I think it's really kind of stupid and annoying. It's like they might not have taken any damage at all, but it looks like they're at half health. I wonder if I could use bind wounds on a mercenary. Let's take a look. You begin to bandage Hanenmer. Yeah, for some reason his name is Hanenmer. So yeah. So you could bind wounds your mercenary. I don't know if I've ever tried that before or not. They also raised the amount that you could bind wounds. It used to be only like 50%, and now it's, I don't know if it's 100% or like 60 or 70%. Yeah, there we go, 70%. It just said it. Well, at least I got them up a little higher. My skill didn't go up though, my bandaging skill. You know what? Instead of using those bandages, I'm going to put this in this bag down here. Because if I use bandages, I want to use these first. Those 20. And get rid of them. Because they don't stack with the others. More Defiant Plate. You know, whenever I need chain, all I get is plate. Whenever I need plate, all I get is like chain or cloth. And if I need cloth, well, I usually get nothing but leather. Why are the drops like that? They're so annoying. These Treant models crack me up. It's like, it's got a weird like mustache thing going on. I need to make a throwing button. I can use some of these damn javelins of mine. There we go. Instead of having to run after the stupid wolf. Hey! Crude Defiant Chain gloves. So let's compare the two. Alright, well, The small Gothic ringmail has a better AC, but only by 3. It's got better save versus magic too. But this has a lot more stats in general. So I think I'm going to swap it out. It also has hit points. So let's wear the crude gloves. I don't know what I'm going to do with my Gothic ringmail once I don't need it anymore. So I've been wanting to try to do more shorts, but you know, so far all my shorts have been just me mostly talking about work-related stuff. But I thought maybe what I could also do is take some of the best parts of my actual videos that I make of Everquest and pull out 30-second segments that have like helpful hints in them. And one of my helpful hints, when I don't have like a melee attack button, I never just grab that, drag it, and bring it over. It seems kind of dumb. Instead, like, I have what I call my begging button or my aggro button. And usually what I have is, the first thing is attack off. The timer doesn't need to be there. It's just, the only thing that does is when you click it, you'll see that it's actually been clicked. You see it's been depressed. Then I have different commands: do ability 1, do ability 2, do ability 3. Well, for rogue, it's begging, hide, sneak. So at every attack, I'm practicing these 3 skills. And as you can see, my sneak over here it's at 29 already, and I haven't really been going out of my way to practice it. So that is one helpful hint. And of course at the bottom it says attack on. So you're pretty much run up, hit that button, and it's only like a brief delay before you start auto attacking. So that's one of my helpful hints for playing any melee class. Because if you have, you know, a monk, for example, your do ability 1, 2, and 3 might be, you know, like dragon punch or flying kick or feign death or something like that. If you're playing a warrior, you might want to have taunt, kick, and bash as your abilities with your aggro button. Or like a paladin, you know, they bash because they use shields even more than warriors do. You know, at least until you're at the level where you don't need a shield anymore, right? You might as well use bash while you have it. So I think I'm going to be ending the video about here. I'm currently level 5. I probably will be level 6 or 7 by the next time I make another like video with this character. I'm going to try to visit different old zones with this character, just relive some of the nice things about these zones. I'd like you guys to just tell me zones that you'd like to see me visit. Old classic zones, low level zones. Of course, I'm only going to be visiting the ones that are appropriate for my level. You know, I'm not going to take a level 5 into the Great Divide, for example, which I'd still call a classic zone because that's Valius, you know. I'm also not going to take the level 5 into Unrest. You know, I would think I'd rather be at least like level 10 or so for Unrest. Could probably take them into Crushbone though, because there's plenty of pawns and low-level Centurions in Crushbone, or like Blackburrow. Blackburrow's another good old classic zone to visit. So yeah, give me your suggestions on, oh, there we go, level 6. Classic zones you think I should visit with this new rogue. Yeah, I've got a mercenary, but they're a crap mercenary, so I'm going to have to rely more on myself than on them. See, this is what I was talking about. Look, the mercenary's at like 13% health now, just because I fucking leveled up. It's so stupid. They haven't even been getting hit. But yes, tell me zones you'd like to see me visit that might bring you some nostalgia. I could share stories about my personal experiences in those zones or anything that I think is noteworthy. As far as Greater Faydark, I don't really think of anything as noteworthy other than the fact that I used to kill the wolves just to get wolf meat and pelts so I can work on my tailoring a little bit. I used to always try to hunt down the spiderlings. The wasps, I remember they would drop their wasp venom sacs, and those were always good for a few gold. And, you know, back then, most of the crap that dropped was only worth a couple of copper or silver at best. So the fact that the wasp venom sacs were like 5 gold, they were, you know, it was nice. It was nice to attack them and loot those things. So you could sell it to just, you know, any of the merchants, the NPC merchants, to get a little bit of gold. So that way you could buy yourself your sewing kit or your tailoring patterns or whatever, so you can, you know, make your tattered leather armor, your patchwork armor before, you know, you got your skill up to where you could start making studded and later on, you know, reinforced. Please name off a couple of zones you'd like me to check out, low-level zones, you know, between level 6 and 20, 25, and I'll just start making a list and make videos of visiting them. And I hope you found this entertaining, if not helpful. And I'd like to thank my new subscribers. I did make it up to 250 now. It's awesome. Since it was after Christmas when it happened, I won't be dyeing my beard, but we can try coming up with a new number where I'll put the same kind of thing on the table or some other nonsense that I might be willing to do to celebrate getting a milestone of subscribers. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and a wonderful tomorrow.